Good morning, everybody. This is Deb from Just Do Something Homestead, and today is part 2 of the garden. I am spreading out the woven weave fabric. This fabric has been a lifesaver to our gardening. Because of this, it blocks all the weeds, and we have no weeds all summer. Yes, it is time consuming to set it up, but wow, what a difference. It keeps the moisture in, keeps the soil warm, and mainly it keeps those weeds out. Now normally Jim and I do all this together, but he is out baling hay, and when this happens we both have to do separate jobs. So I am trying to get this laid out tonight and hopefully plant a couple tomatoes. That's the plan. We use 6-inch sawed staples to put the fabric onto our soil. And we used to have this fantastic tool, but it broke. So we are using what's known as a hammer. And you just hammer them in. Now we have if I could hit it, it would help, very hard clay soil. So it takes a few good hammers to get that in, but it holds it very well. And there we go. I was trying to hit it left-handed. I am right-handed, so in goes the staple, and I just have a few hundred more to go that entire row. When you put on the woven weave, you want to cross over to protect it from the light going through. And so what I do is I line up the 2 orange strips on the end. Now you can see that it was clipped down below, so I don't want to put a clip right on top of it. And then I pull it tight, and that is where I put my next clip. Oh my, what a nice hairdo today, but I am determined I am going to get these staples in. Alright, I have come to the end of the row. So what I'm going to do now is burn it with a butane lighter. You do not want to cut it because the ends will fray. So I'm going to burn it with my lighter. This is my little butane lighter, and what I'm going to do is just go across it, starting right here at my hammer, and I'm just going to do a line, burning it as I go. And I'm not going to film that because I'm here by myself, so I don't need to burn down the field. All right, I burned a straight line going across, and I do it while I'm standing up. That way, if some of that dry grass underneath starts to flame up a little, I just step on it. And it is very safe. I don't want to scare you, but once in a while, if you have very dry grass underneath from being rototilled, it can catch on fire. So you always have to be careful. 2 rows are in, and I am losing the battle of the sunlight. So I'm going to start that 3rd row, but I definitely won't be planting tonight. You will see there are lots of ripples and curves. This fabric is taut. That means it's tight. It's not flexible. So if you're pulling it hard one way and not the other, you're going to get ripples, and it's okay. I'll take ripples versus weeds any day. And once in a while, you have one that will not go in no matter how much you hit it. So at that point, I pull it out, and you're going to end up with a very bent, messy staple. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Oh yeah, it bent all over the place. There it is. So I will put in a new one, just slide it down to a new place. Not bad for a night after working today. I was able to get 3 rows of woven weave fabric laid down and stapled down. And I didn't get anything planted, but I am pretty happy with the progress. I wanted to mention these are 4 foot wide, and I buy them from Growers Solutions. They are a greenhouse company. They are not a big box store. So don't buy weed blocker. It doesn't work. Woven weave fabric. With woven weave fabric, you can walk on it. You do not put mulch on it. So you're not going to cover this with straw or hay or anything else. You're just going to burn holes where you put your plants, and that is it. It will do everything it's on its own. We start with a perimeter row of woven weave, and then as I do each section, I tuck it under that row. Now I like to run the woven weave fabric in the direction that my rows go because they're marked in 4 equal portions. So they're 1 foot apart. This is 4 feet wide. So it helps me with spacing. It keeps it all straight, and I love to have it neat and straight. Time to add the cattle panels, which are going to be the tomato trellis. This was the second night that we worked on getting some of the garden in. So we have several rows of woven weave fabric, but tonight we added cattle panels. We start by hammering in 3 6-foot T-posts. This is a 2-person job, 1 to hold the cattle panel and 1 to attach it to the T-posts. And it is nearly dark out, but very humble beginnings. I have planted 8 small beefsteak tomatoes. Now that these tomatoes are planted, they are going to take off. There are 8 of them. I easily have another 100 to plant. So they will do very well now that they have their soil and their rabbit poop. And the rest of this garden is slowly going to happen. Whew. It has been a busy week, but slowly we have been adding some woven weave fabric, and I have planted just 8 tomatoes. And today I am going to plant 8 more. These are my Romas, and we're going to go over how to plant them. I measure where to put the holes for my tomatoes by these panels. These are 8 inches, and so I start from the edge by counting 1, 2, 3 posts, and I'm going to burn the first hole right there. And as you can see by those clouds behind you, we are in the midst of having a lot of storms, thunderstorms, so I'm just going to see how much I can get done. Now, when you're using the butane lighter, I go in a circle just like that. Let me try a little more. And I burn the holes. The next thing I do is use an auger to dig in each of those holes so that I can plant my tomatoes. Just like that, nice and deep so I can plant my tomatoes pretty deep. Next, I add a scoop of rabbit poop and push it all the way down into the bottom of the hole. I am planting Roma tomatoes that I started from seeds, and so I'm going to pop it on out, and they come out pretty easy. They're not pot bound, but they're definitely ready to be planted. Push it on down into the hole. And I have 1 tomato planted. The only thing I need to do is water them, and honestly, it's supposed to rain for a week, so this is the perfect time to plant my tomatoes. I can fit 8 tomatoes on each cattle panel. I am putting them 24 inches apart. I know some people put them much closer, but I like a little distance between them. As my tomatoes grow, I attach them to the cattle panel. And what that does, it makes my plant stronger. So when we have some of these severe winds, it's going to have a strong foundation next to it that's going to hold it from breaking off. And that is one of the main reasons that I trellis my tomatoes. And since the winds are kicking up and it's threatening to thunderstorm again, I am going to hustle and get these 8 tomato plants planted. That gives me a total of 16 tomatoes planted. Hopefully tomorrow I can add 16 more. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.